Greg Dulcich sighting? How about that? In 24 hours, Chris Bryant's played for the Rockies, and Greg Dulcich has practiced for the Broncos. Stoke.
Be careful. Like, I don't know. What do they say? Lightning's going to strike or something, or a meteor's going to hit us or something like that. Is the eclipse coming? I mean, this is unbelievable. Will it ever happen again?
I don't know. This could be the day that we get Bryant and Dulcich to talk about here on the show. Want to hear a little bit more from Sean Payton. And again, going back to today's press conference, I'm just kind of excited to see how he feels. Like, is he fired up? Is he mad? Is he angry at people? He talked about the ongoing evaluation of what is right now kind of QB1 and Jarrett Stidham.
I think it's an ongoing evaluation of decisions, how quickly the ball's coming out. Certainly he understands what we're doing. And then, I went over this last night. Do you know what to do? Are you trying to do what's being coached? How well are you doing it? There's a series of things that I think is important for them to understand how they're being evaluated. And I think that applies with him as well.
I like it. And that was today?
That was today, yep.
After practice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So I think, you're going to obviously, like, we're looking at this stuff like every throw, every day, and we're evaluating. This is what we did when it was Paxton and whoever and Teddy and whoever, like, and Trevor and all these guys, right? So, I mean, it's not like if one guy has a bad practice, it's not like the end of the world, for these coaches and for the players. It's like, okay, how do you bounce back the next day? And, then they take a step back and they look at the big picture. Well, how has he looked overall in the last week, It's not a couple throws like – and we also do this too, and I try not to. A quarterback throws a couple interceptions, and it's like, oh, my gosh, this guy is done. Like, what an awful training camp because he threw a couple interceptions, right? And sometimes we just get caught up in that a little bit too much where coaches, they don't want to see you throwing the ball to the other team all the time, but a couple of them here and there, that's not the end of the world, right? And sometimes you don't know what they're being coached to do in certain situations. Like, hey, maybe at this practice I want you to be very aggressive. Force the ball down the field. Like, we're trying to stretch the football down the field today. Like, take some chances. It's take chances day, right? So, sometimes you just don't know what they're being coached to do. So, but in these situations, we are. I mean, we're going to be, evaluating every single throw, every single day of all of these guys. But in the end, a lot of it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because it's going to be Bo Nix, and it has to be Bo Nix, right? And I kind of go back to the draft of, like, you're looking around, and you're like, you look at the situation, and it just says the Broncos have to take a quarterback in the first round. They have to take a quarterback in the first round, right? What are they going to do? What's going to be the plan there for the next couple of years if you don't do that? And so same thing here. Like, you look around, they can tell you whatever they want to tell you, but Bo Nix has got to be the starter, if not the first game, by the third or fourth game of the season.
Yeah, I know that there is a ramp-up period, and it's pretty likely that we could see Stidham start, and then it comes to Bo Nix. But, man, we get to week 2, Russ and the boys are coming to Mile High, and it's not Bo Nix and Sean Payton versus Mike Tomlin and Russell Wilson. That's a miss.
Well,
that's a letdown to Broncos country.
Oh, well, I mean, I think you're being a little bit too harsh.
What do you mean? You don't want new shiny toy to beat up old crappy toy?
I definitely do. I do. But like I said, like I just want to evaluate and see how this thing plays out, okay? And it might be a 2 or 3 week thing that we don't see Bo. So I'm not going to, be yelling at Sean and calling Sean names because he didn't start Bo in one of the first 2 weeks. But, if you get to week 4 and we haven't seen him yet, now I'll be a little bit critical of him. But, sometimes, hey, okay, maybe he's not a 17-game starter his rookie year. Maybe it's 15 games. I'm okay with that. I want it to be 17 games. Let me make it clear. Yeah. I think he should be starting day 1. I think he should be getting all the reps right now. But at the same time, it's okay. It'll be fine. It's not like the end of the world if he's not taking every rep with the 1 right now. He's still getting a lot of valuable reps. If he's not starting week 1 or week 2, that's okay. Yeah. Like, just as long as he gets a lot of starts this year, and by a lot, I mean 13, 14, 15.
Okay, and I think that's fair, and that's a healthy
And
number
we
of
want to be
starts
fair.
as a rookie. You're right.
We want to be fair, and
do.
we want to be nice.
We're always fair and nice on this show.
That's right. And so, they've opened up their arms to us and opened up their doors to their house, and they're letting us broadcast their live now. And so we want to reciprocate that.
That's right.
And that's the way I'm going to operate with Sean and how he handles Bo this year.
Remember when you were a young boy? This is going to be tough for you. When you're a young child and you got like a pack of Army men or a new couple G.I. Joes.
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean?
I used to love G.I. Joes.
I
and
love
the
G.I.
Army
Joes
men.
too.
Yeah.
And you get a new G.I. Joe, and then I got my old G.I. Joe over here, and I'm like, oh, now I can rip this one's head off and use it as an accessory. I could steal my dad's lighter and burn his feet off or something like that. I want Russ to look like my old G.I. Joes after the end of that Steelers game.
Wow. We just went from being nice to now talking about ripping people's heads off from G.I. Joes. And I mean, no, you just normally for me, no, I'm just kind of done with the old one and I just push it off to the side and I just play with the new one.
Oh, really?
It's like when I'm listening to my Morgan songs.
Yeah.
Right. I got this and I will listen, right, to the top 5 that I love. And then all of a sudden it's like the new ones come and then you're like, yeah, those are still good,
right?
But I don't really listen to those as much anymore, right? And
okay.
I'm like all in with the new ones.
Yeah.
That's the way I operate. I didn't, rip people's heads off and burn them and goodness gracious, you are a degenerate, bad psychopath.
Is that an early tell of something,
yes,
right?
that's what it is. It's an early tell of being a deranged lunatic.
I always wanted to rip their heads off because you keep the heads.
Kisner, did you want to rip?
I think I need to switch shows.
Yes, I agree. I'm concerned. Can we?
I'm going to the
HR.
afternoons.
Where's HR?
HR?
Yeah, we need HR.
No, statute
Yes,
of limitations.
yes.
I was a boy.
Oh.
I was a little kid.
But you're taking us behind the scenes of what it looked like now.
What made me?
Yeah, back then was G.I. Joe people and fire. Those people end up being these psychopathic.
That might be.
Weird, strange people. You put up a front now.
Yeah.
But when you behind closed doors, you're a really weird,
You didn't ever
delusional
wonder what
person.
You didn't ever wonder what Master Splinter's head looked like on Shredder's body?
No, not
Because
really.
I wondered that a lot.
No, not really.
And then I was like, I have the means to make this happen.
Right. So
I can
let me
rip
make
that
it
rat
happen.
head off and put it on Shredder's body.
And then let me set it on fire.
Well, it was tough sometime to get Dad's lighter, so you just take the magnifying glass and the sun.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
You used to do that with leaves and try to start
Oh,
fires.
really?
Yeah, you burn the leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so you got some psychopathic
Yeah,
tendencies
a
as
few of
well.
them.
You know who you are? You're the kid in Toy Story.
Yes.
I'm Sid.
That's
Yes.
him, Sid. You're exactly right.
We need security in here.
We do. That's what I'm kind of nervous. I think I need to go home. I think I need a mental health day.
A mental
And I take mine we get one of those, don't we?
Yeah.
I
I'm
think we
putting
get
mine
several.
in for right now. I need a break.
Yeah.
I'm going to the golf course.
Wait, you need a break, but you got to go golf for the
Well,
break?
yes.
That's where you reset.
Exactly. I just need to get out of here early today.
All right. Yeah, I hope there's people out there that did the same things I did, or else I'm going to maybe start buying into what
yes.
you guys are trying to sell me
Right.
here.